appetizer, and I'm so grateful that Grady Judd came out to see me tonight. Thank you. Make somebody laugh. Appreciate it. I know you're all eating, but I'd like you to listen up just for a minute here. There's some really important news that happened today with our elections, our candidates that I really want to share. My name is Sam Romaine. I'm the chairman of the Polk County GOP. My job is to vet candidates and to help candidates win offices, to maintain offices that we have Republicans in. A couple quick just like updates generally speaking. At the table with Sir Grady Judd over there, we have Justin Sharpless and Sam Neelam. Both you guys raise your hand. These are two school board candidates that the Polk County GOP has formally endorsed. Sam Neelam, for reference, is running against a Kay Fields, who has been in office for 24 years. Kay Fields first got into office when I was in first grade. Just for reference on that, okay? First grade. My son is now going into first grade. So Sam Neelam's a really good candidate. We're excited to endorse him. He's also a DeSantis-appointed Polytechnic trustee, so really proud of him for that. Justin Sharpless is finishing his first term on the school board, running for re-election, and I think has been one of the most influential people on that school board in a very, very long time. So very happy to have him there. He is running against a 19-year-old kid, Karen Casson, I don't know what it is. I saw this video the other day where no harm against a 19-year-old who wants to throw their hat into politics. I think it's great. Everyone should be getting into politics. We need more young people. I feel like the young guy a lot of times and I'm feeling old. However, when they asked what his experience was, he said that he graduated high school. That was his greatest experience, and that made him qualify for school board. So, as a father of 3 kids, I have a lot of concern over that being your qualifications. Get some experience under your belt. That said, we also have 2 more school board candidates, Kate Wallace and Sarah Corona. They are running against another candidate named Victor Sims. You may have seen him online, very well-leveraged Democrat socialist running for school board. He's got funding, he's got the door knockers, he's got the grassroots who are all showing up to support. We need to make sure that he does not win. Again, his name is Victor Sims. We are not voting for that guy. Okay. One other thing I want to talk about real quickly, just how the party operates. Typically when there are 2 Republicans in a race, the party has rules and obligations to stay out. So, for example, Sarah and Kate are both running in the same race. We're not endorsing. It's not a hit against them. That's just our rules, okay? I want to bring up a story of something that happened earlier today. We have Commissioner Rick Wilson in the room. Thank you for coming. Now, Rick Wilson has an opponent in his race. Her name is Kelly Quinn. She is a registered Republican. And so, per the rules, we as a party have chosen to stay out because that's the rules I must abide by as chairman, right? Well, today there was an event earlier today, the Lakeland Women's Club. We're having an event here. We were asking the candidates questions, kind of getting to know them. I had asked Ms. Kelly Quinn a question about why she is publicly posting online, or her campaign manager publicly posting online, encouraging Republicans to go out and vote for socialists. Victor Sims. Kelly Quinn, a registered Republican running for county commissioner, is encouraging Republicans to vote for a socialist. You heard me right. Furthermore, there's also pictures of her supporting House Representative Escamani, who's now running for Orlando mayor. So 2 different socialists, which Kelly Quinn is supporting the race of. Furthermore, another question was asked later on. This is earlier today. This all happened today. This is why I feel like I should share this, because we're getting into early voting right now. She was asked, what are your ideas on ending DEI contracting through the county government? Because the state government's done a pretty good job of eliminating DEI. Governor DeSantis, really good job. DEI still exists in Florida. It just kind of permeates the lower levels, counties, cities, school boards, etc. So I asked the question, do you support ending DEI in county contracting? Rick Wilson said, we will end it everywhere. This is a meritocracy. Doesn't matter how old you are. Casson, if you're 19 and you got the credentials, good on you, but he doesn't, right? It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what religion you are. If you have the skills, we want to encourage that. Kelly Quinn, however, said, it's not really my thing to worry about. It's my thing to worry about as county chair. It's all your idea to worry about. But really, the most concerning thing that happened, if those two things weren't the most concerning to you, the last question that really lit up the room in wonder and awe was when someone asked the question of, do you support pro-life? Are you pro-life? Kelly Quinn answered, dodged a little bit at first, but to her credit, she came out and said, actually, no, I'm not pro-life, I am pro-choice. In a room full of Republicans, Florida Republicans. And Rick Wilson came out and said, I believe in Jesus Christ and protecting life. So, the reason I bring all of this up is let me finish one other thing. As I was leaving, I wish Grady Judd was here because I needed some serious protection. As I was walking out this building, and I'm just a little guy. I'm not very intimidated by a lot of things. As I was walking out to my car, the campaign manager for Kelly Quinn ran across the parking lot, got right in my face, and said some very mean things about I must show her my phone so she can verify my proof of her support for socialists. I said, I don't owe you anything. You're not going to look at my phone. But I showed her the picture anyways because I'm a nice guy, and I was very scared. I didn't have Grady Judd with me. This is what you need to be looking at. When Evan Power, the RPOF chair, when your elected officials and the other party people are saying the Democrats are flipping their party to Republicans and they're running Republican candidates who are actually Democrats, it is not a lie. This is happening. We have not seen it yet. In our county here, this is a very deep red county. We've not seen it yet, but we are seeing it now. Kelly Quinn is a registered Republican. I looked it up. She has been for a couple cycles. And so that's why I was staying out of this. But the answers today are unequivocally clear that she is not a conservative, she is not a Republican, and the behavior of accosting the chairman of the party in the parking lot when he's alone, unelectable. Disqualifying behavior. Absolutely. Now that all said, I still can't endorse you yet, but I am calling my board to an emergency meeting tonight at 7:30. We are going to try and invoke Rule 8, which gives us the ability to endorse you. So assuming that goes through, you will see an endorsement in very short order. Lastly, I want to say, I think there's a guy in the room, Omar. Omar, where are you at? The Polk County GOP just tonight has decided to endorse Omar for his campaign to be our county commissioner. He has the endorsement of Grady Judd, and his predecessor, Martha Santiago, has handpicked him to take her seat, and he is going to do a fantastic job for Polk County. We're very proud of the candidates that we are running, and we are going to support them with everything we got, including you, Rick. We're coming for you. So I just want to wrap by saying thank you all. I've met most of you, not everybody. I'm very happy to be the Polk County GOP chairman, and we are going to fight like hell.
Think of a better way of having a meeting than opening with our chairman, because he gets everybody's blood going and everybody getting on board for what we're trying to do for Polk County right now. So that being said, I would like to introduce you to our esteemed sheriff, who is in the hearts of everybody in Polk County because he and his deputies keep us safe every single day of the week, of the month, of the year. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, ma'am. It is my honor to be your sheriff and to be your guest speaker tonight. And I too normally stay out of primaries because I love everybody. And obviously I'm going to support the Republican candidate. But I had a conversation with myself. And I said to myself, I'm supporting Rick Wilson too. So I've already endorsed Rick Wilson because I recognized early on this lady is truly, just as our chair said, she is not a Republican. She's only registered as a Republican. So I share that with you. And to her credit, she's been honest about the fact that she is not of Republican standards. So anyway, you do what you got to do. Omar told me a long time ago, when Martha Santiago retires, I'd like to run for county commissioner. And I said, Omar, that'd be great, but Martha's got one more term. He said, I understand that. I just stay right here on the city commission in Haines City. And I was talking to Martha, and she says, you know, I'm not running again. I said, you know, Omar wants to run. She said, I've already talked to Omar. I said, so you're not running? She said, no, I'm not. And Omar is, and I'm supporting him. And I want you to support him. I said, Martha, if you want me to support Omar, Omar's my man. So, quite frankly, I would tell her no, Omar is still sweating this thing. He has a write-in opponent whose name we do not know and whose name does not matter. I told Omar, I said, I appreciate you going to all the events and staying plugged in, but you cannot lose. You are in the enviable position. If they offered, you can go in public office without an opponent, or you can go in public office with a write-in. Take a write-in, because your name gets to be on every ballot that it goes out to every Republican. So Omar will be our next commissioner, and Rick Wilson will be our next commissioner, and Becky Troutman is our commissioner, and I'm grateful. And that's, you know, if we weren't in a Republican meeting, I wouldn't talk direct politics. I would just let my conduct speak for itself. But since we're here tonight, it's important to understand that we run a lean budget, believe it or not, and that we are really hamstrung at the county level because they say, oh, your budget's this big. But they don't tell you federal law and state law prohibits them to manage all of their budget. It's directed. So when we go before the Board of County Commissioners, as I've done every year since I've been elected, I've already worked with their staff and with the commissioners in advance. And I have evidence, it's evidence-based why we're asking for money. I have never, ever, ever, ever been turned down. Now someone might say, will they just say yes? No, they don't just say yes. We talk about these things. We talk about what's important and why we need it. And if I may say, well, I've got this idea, and they go, well, great, can you put it off a year? Or we got these other priorities. We talk individually. I can't talk to them as a collective body, but I can talk to them individually. And as a result, they've already announced that public safety is their highest priority, because if you're not safe and you don't feel safe, you don't flourish. Because of their work, because they give us the tools, because they support fair pay and good benefits, we can hire the best and the brightest, and we can train them, and we can equip them. That's why your crime in unincorporated Polk County and our service cities is at a 54-year low right now. Think about that. You can have the absolute best surgeon in the entire world, but if you don't provide them the appropriate operating room and support staff and equipment, they can't do their job and they can't save lives. So I'm telling you right now, when we get the credit for reducing crime, we appreciate that. And the young men and women at the Sheriff's Office work very, very, very hard. Very, very good job. But we couldn't do that without our Board of County Commissioners, and they are superior, just superior. Now, I've had the opportunity to be the president of the Florida Sheriff's Association. I've also had the opportunity to be the president of the Major County Sheriffs of America. I have consulted the largest sheriff's offices from California to Maine and from Minnesota down to Texas. And I can tell you right now that most of my consulting circled around county commissioners and sheriffs that didn't get along. And sometimes they were in opposing parties, and so there's that natural conflict. A lot of times they were in the same party. But when I would have that counseling session, I said, well, what are you doing to support your Board of County Commissioners? And they go, I never support them. I go, dude, they fund you. I said, let me tell you what I do. I go to speeches. I speak all the time. And I say, I've got the best Board of County Commissioners. They care about you. They want to keep you safe, because if they don't win, I don't win. And if they don't win and I don't win, the community doesn't win. So most of my consulting deals with sheriffs and commissioners that just fuss back and forth. So a few months ago, we got a call from a sheriff in another county. He said, Grady, I got a real problem. He said, a couple of my county commissioners will want to get way down on operation issues. Just tell me how to run the place. I said, wow, you got 5 commissioners and 2 of them are on you. And we talked about the topic, and I said, have you taken them to lunch? Why would I take them to lunch? And ladies, I'll use a nice word, because they're on your butt. That'd be a good reason. I'd use maybe another word. And I said, why don't you find out where the common ground is and help them out? In fact, I am having a press conference up here in my office about a topic that one of them wants to get down into operation. I said, why don't you bring that county commissioner with you and come to the press conference? And he did, and we had the press conference. And then I met with the county commissioner. And I said, can I make this better? Because I understand you're a great commissioner. And the sheriff, and you're apparently not communicating well, but the sheriff brags about you. He says he doesn't understand. He said, well, I said, have some conversation with him. Not from the diocese where the world's watching, but one-on-one. And see if y'all can't work this out. 2 weeks later, I got a call and they said, hey, you know, bringing that guy in the car with me for a couple-hour drive worked out pretty well. I said, there's always the ability to get the yes. It may not be your yes, it may not be his yes, it may be a middle yes. We enjoy that in this county. We enjoy that working with the city commissioners. I work with the city commissioners on issues all of the time. And the thing is, folks, what we have seen overwhelmingly in politics is one group thinks they got to scratch the eyeballs out of the other group. And when that happens, everybody's blind, because everybody gets scratched. Because you can take the calmest, sweetest, nicest person and push them into the corner, and they will eventually come back and fight you. So in order to win, we've got to have community support. And that's where I'm taking this. So the commissioners support me, we keep the community safe, but none of us can do what we do without you in the community. We've got to have your strength and your energy and your support to do the right thing every day. And I want to talk about where we have been in the last 5 years and where we're going. This is old hat to the commissioners. They know this better than any of us. But we've added approximately 150,000 people to this county in the last 5 years. I want you to think about that for a minute. In the last 5 years alone, we've added a population the size of Lakeland and Bartow to the county. When they come, they bring good things, and I can tell you overwhelmingly, the percentage of crime that you would expect did not come with them. So good people moved here. But I can tell you they still have vehicle crashes. They still need roads to drive on. They still need schools to put their kids in. There still needs to be infrastructure. And they're good folks. But we've got a Board of County Commissioners that plans for the future. They just built us our 6th district station. And for those of you who says, what's a district station? It's like a police department. Okay? So we've got 6 different district stations, and they all cover a population of around 120 to 140,000 people each. So it's a police. It is a city. In addition to that, we back up all the city police departments. We work in the city with the exception of direct answering calls, and we do some of that too. But we work in the cities as much as we do the unincorporated area. But our crime is low because we work together, because we use technology. We started a unit, and the Board of County Commissioners, once again, they visioned with me and supported this, a cell unit, the Sheriff's Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, CEL. We partnered with the Polytech and with George Jenkins High School. And then the next year, we have the CEL hub. So we took it from not only police operations, but administrative operations too. You see, when you look to see where we're going with artificial intelligence, we're still in the infancy of that. We are the only police agency I can find in the nation that has an artificial intelligence laboratory. We're visioning for the future. We are saying, okay, how are we going to police against the bad actors that use AI? And how are we going to use technology to and create protocols to police for the benefit of the sheriff's office? How are we going to save the taxpayers money? By using AI to do some things that currently humans do, but it's a repetition, it's the same thing over and over and over again. We're working through that today. So we're working on tomorrow's solutions today, and we have been. And that's the vision of the sheriff's office. It's not enough to follow up behind crime and arrest people. You've got to get in front of crime and stop it from ever happening, and that's why our crime rate is so low. It's important to understand that we advocate against criminals. We don't like DEI, and we don't like criminals, okay? I mean, just saying that. So we have things that we do every day, working with partners. And here's a recent one. It was a 16-year-old girl in Williamsburg, Pennsylvania, whose brother played online games with a 28-year-old here in Polk County, Florida. The 28-year-old groomed the brother's sister, who was 16, and drove from Polk County to Williamsburg, Pennsylvania, and picked her up and brought her home. Now, I don't know what kind of home deal was going on up there, because the victim's mama thought she was with a girlfriend for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And finally, the brother figured out, hey, wait a minute, my sister's in Florida with this guy. He had been sexually battering her here. She thought she was consenting. She's not. 16-year-old child, he's 28 years old. But we were able to get to him quickly because of our customer service with a sense of urgency. We didn't go out there tomorrow or when we got a chance or put it in the stack of work to do. It goes to the very top. And we manage all that with technology and with analysts. So I ask you, what is that worth to you? And then I always like to share this. You know, we all want to save money. I want to save money. I want to save tax money. I'm real big on that. If I only ask for the average number of deputies per 1,000, only the average in this county or across the state, I would need 300 additional deputies. I'm doing it with 300 less deputies, saving probably about $45 million of taxpayers' money a year. But still, it's a big number, because when you run a police operation and a jail and a court system and a civil division, and all but the civil division and the courts run 24/7 and pieces of the courts run 24/7, it's a big operation. But not once in my entire adult life working at the sheriff's office, not once have I been at the scene of an emergency where we're saving someone's life. We're extricating them from a car. We're stopping that bleeder from them bleeding out. We've arrested the guy for just shooting somebody at a convenience store. Not once have I ever had anybody say, there's a lot of fire trucks there. I don't understand why we have so many ambulances. And look at those deputies. Not once. So what's your life worth? What's your children's life worth? What's security in your community worth? And the reality is, we do it at the Sheriff's Office with the support of the Board of County Commissioners, economically cheaper than agencies our size across the state. But we have to be competitive. In this day and age, these young men and women who are talented, and there's not a lot of them that want to work in law enforcement anymore. If you're not competitive with Tampa and Hillsborough and Pinellas and St. Pete and Orange and Osceola and Orlando PD, you know what they do? They walk on you. Because you see, they can drive their cars from those police departments or sheriff's office and live in our lower, cheaper economic, or our cheaper environment to live in, and work in the bigger environment. Our Board of County Commissioners allows us to be competitive with the professionals in the other areas. And as a result of that, we get more people from other law enforcement agencies than leave us to go to other law enforcement agencies. So it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting to us. So, you'll have time for a crazy Christmas story? Is that all right? So it's about 10:23 in the morning. Not that I'm trying to get specific. We get a 911 call. The person on the phone told the call taker there was no emergency. He said he was testing his phone to see if it worked, and he made the call accidentally. Then the call taker heard someone in the background saying, "Why are you talking to 911? You know they're looking for you. They have a warrant." So, you know, being trained detectives and our 911 operators, the wonderful lady said, well, maybe we ought to go out there and check out that 911 call. And we arrived and determined the caller was William Walters from Polk City, and he had an outstanding warrant. He didn't just have an outstanding warrant, he had 4 outstanding warrants. And he didn't only have 4 outstanding warrants. Some of them were because he had already been given weekend work release so he could keep his job and work in the community on the weekend to avoid jail. And not only that, he's been called for DUI, driving while his license suspended. So we took him to jail. And his wife says, well, that serves you right. You can't make this stuff up. And he legit just wanted to see if 911 worked on his phone. Craziness. Crazy. So at the end of the day, we get to see the craziest of the crazy. We get to see the wildest of the wild. And that's what keeps the job interesting every day that we do this. But I could talk forever and ever and brag on the men and women of the Sheriff's Office, but you know, one of the talents of giving a speech is to know when to shut up and get out of the way so people can go on to what they want to do next. I want to thank you. You're real Americans. You support conservative candidates. You go out and work the polls and work the phones and get engaged with our efforts. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, what your work is guaranteeing that we can be conservative and keep you safe, put bad guys in jail, and although the numbers are big, we can keep it very, very low for the cost of doing business in our different industries. I wish God's greatest blessings on each and every one of you. I really appreciate being your sheriff, and I don't take that for granted, not one day or 1 hour or 1 minute. And I'll continue to work hard for you. And if you need anything from me, dial 911. See y'all later.